What's going on, fellow A-Plusers? We're back once again with a brand new review for Daredevil Born Again Episode 3. Had to come back quick with a review here for you guys this week. I promised I was going to be much more on time this time around, and here I am because we have to talk about this episode, especially the way that it certainly ended when it comes to Episode 3. I was really growing to become a big fan of the White Tiger character. I really honestly thought that Hector Ayala was going to be around a lot more than what he certainly was in this season. I mean, what, 2, 3 episodes to certainly say the least, going out in a way that I certainly did not expect. I mean, you want to talk about leaving my jaw on the floor. I thought we were going to get to see him do his vigilante thing, maybe even teaming up with Daredevil sometime this season as the two of them go ahead and battle crime. No, no, the Kingpin and his corrupt ass cops took that away from us. First off, rest in peace to Camar de los Reyes, fellow Boricua of mine that I thought played this character to the T and absolutely beautifully. I mean, you truly felt for this guy. I mean, the guy simply was the type of person that just wanted to go ahead and help people. You can feel his sort of fear of the idea that he may not get a fair trial, that he may not see the light of day, may not see his family anymore, sort of thing. The emotional drama for him in the episodes that we saw. Just really spoke to me, man. I even loved his monologue that he winds up giving the Matt Murdock in here, talking about the island of Puerto Rico. I personally have only been one time, but I remember it vividly visiting the rainforest El Yunque with my uncle. It was absolutely beautiful. So definitely tapping into my Boricua roots when it comes to Hector Ayala and feeling some level of connection to him in here. So to kind of see the fight that him along with Matt Murdock put up in here in this courtroom drama episode, which really works for me. Look, I'm a sucker for like a really great sort of like procedural show, a court procedural show, or like a Perry Mason sort of thing. I mean, give it to me, man. I could literally sit here and watch Matt Murdock try and save people on trial every episode if he asked me to. It really worked for me here in this week's episode. Just completely unfortunate that despite the fact that he wins his case, he gets shot in the head in just the most unbelievable way. I just did not expect this episode to end. And honestly, I immediately felt for his family. The beautiful story of him wanting to get a place for him and his wife, their own studio. Their own place to finally live. I believe he mentioned he was living with his sister and his niece, and all he wanted to do was surprise his wife for a studio apartment of their own. And the fact that he gets released and he gets that opportunity to live his dream, the first thing that came over me was him leaving behind his family and his wife, unfortunately. Just absolutely tragic. I got some feelings about this, though. I got some feelings about this because I don't know if I should love Matt Murdock or if I should hate Matt Murdock for being the one to put Hector Ayala's sort of secret identity on blast the way that he did in the middle of the courtroom. When he first said, we should keep the White Tiger stuff to a minimum, not even really talk about it. Like, let's just keep it out of the courts in general, only for him to go ahead and bring it forward in an attempt to certainly help win the case. It certainly did, but at what cost, right? And look, to be fair to Matt Murdock, the man literally told Hector, you do realize like you can't be White Tiger anymore, right? Like it's over for you. Like you can't. And I get why he's saying that, because he knows that White Tiger is going to have a bullseye on his back, no pun intended, but he's going to have people out for him, especially based off of the corruption within the NYPD that we certainly see here. So Matt definitely tried to tell him, but it is also one of those things where after seeing how Hector spoke so vividly and impactful about what the White Tiger persona, mask and costume and just that lifestyle certainly means to him, to me it felt like, and I love the sequence between him and Matt. because there is a sense of almost like I feel like Matt projecting what he's feeling or his own thoughts onto Hector Ayala in a sense, right? Like it may be, I don't want to say it's easy for Matt to sort of hang up being Daredevil, but the fact that Matt chooses that for him um over what Hector wants, I certainly think is a little bit selfish, right? Like the dialogue between these two were absolutely genius because while Matt feels one type of way, the way that Hector describes what it means to be a white tiger is certainly, I think, everything that Matt Murdock feels also, that Matt Murdock is trying to hide away. Right? The idea that he says, look, it's more than just a costume. Like it calls to me sort of thing, right? Like I clearly have a calling that I have to do something out there. It's bigger than just this costume, right? And I love the fact because we know that Matt Murdock feels that way. Like we know that this man does. But Matt tries to then project the idea like, look, man, when you hang up this thing, you're going to love the idea that you don't have to go back to being this vigilante guy anymore. And I know Matt Murdock doesn't really feel that way. Like, I know deep down in his soul, there is a part of Matt Murdock that wants to go back to being Daredevil, that misses being Daredevil. Look, we've seen 3 seasons of this man to know that Matt Murdock goes from here to here sometimes. And when it comes to his decision making, should I be Matt Murdock? Should I be Daredevil? Should I not be Daredevil? Should I be Matt Murdock? Right? Like it's back and forth for Matt. And so yes, I understand that he went through something with Foggy, and now he finds himself hanging up the costume once again for like the 3rd, 4th time in this man's career. But to just tell somebody, oh, don't worry, you're gonna not miss being this person at all. You miss being Daredevil, Matt. Like, I literally know that you do. And what Hector Ayala is saying about what it means to have this calling to save people, to be something bigger than what you are, like, you feel that way, Matt. Like, stop trying to hide it. And so I was really hoping we would get more of these people, more moments of these two together. But with the passing of White Tiger now, I am curious as to what Matt's mindset is going to be. Will he have regrets? Will he feel guilty? Will he feel responsible for the death of Hector Ayala because he put his name on blast as White Tiger? And if anything, does he take what Hector Ayala spoke to him about and channel that into him becoming Daredevil sort of once again, realizing that it's a bigger calling than just you and me, bro. If you have these abilities, you have to use them. You have to do something with them. So I am fascinated by the dynamic of Hector and Matt in here. And it's just unfortunate that in a crazy end to this episode, man, we get him just gunned down and clearly like set up, if you will. And look, even though we get the cool Punisher sort of logo, that definitely wasn't Frank Castle, okay? Like, I know it wasn't Frank Castle. The way that we had Kingpin talking to the interview with BB Urich all at the same time that somebody comes and pops White Tiger, that's definitely a police officer. And especially based off of the fact that a lot of the police officers that we see are rocking the Punisher tattoo as well, right? So they've definitely utilized that as a symbol for themselves. And clearly there is a divisiveness between vigilantes and how the NYPD certainly looks towards them. Maybe not all cops, because we clearly saw some people coming to the defense of Hector, talking about all the good that he's certainly done, how much he's actually helped in the community. And I thought that was a really beautiful scene also, the idea of like revealing yourself only to come to find out how many people truly sort of appreciate you saving their lives, sort of thing. I just thought it was a really well built case after the reveal. But I don't know, man. There's a part of me that wants to blame Matt Murdock for putting a target on his back, and another part of me that's just like, it's just unfortunate that it happened the way that it certainly did. I also want to talk real quick about Kingpin in here, I am fascinated in his relationship with wanting to call BB Uric. It almost seems as though he is utilizing her sort of like as a propaganda tool, right? Like he doesn't want to go to local media or state media, maybe with the worry of how they may twist his message or whatever the case may be. The fact that he's going to somebody on the ground that really kind of speaks to the people, it feels as though like I am curious if Yurik knows what she's getting herself into, if she's going to allow that to happen simply for that access alone to the mayor of New York City, right? Like you may have one intention as a journalist with great integrity, but once you do get access, are you going to push back against Kingpin, or are you going to allow him to get his sort of twisted message out there, right? Like when the court system and the jury literally came to this decision, and the mayor of New York is saying, well, you can't trust the court, sort of thing. Is York going to eventually stand up to Kingpin, or allow what she's doing in her journalism to then just become a propaganda machine for Kingpin to get his message out there? So I am fascinated in the idea of these two sort of linking up in here at the end of this particular episode. I am also fascinated in the relationship between him and Vanessa also. She clearly is going behind his back, maybe not fully trusting him and the decisions that he certainly makes. I don't see why. Maybe she thinks that he's certainly lost a step since then. She does mention the idea that she thinks that he's punishing her. But based off of the love that Kingpin has for Vanessa, I certainly don't see it that way. I don't think that she should either. But with him being gone so long and her being the one sort of in charge, it does make me wonder where this is going to lead to, right? Like, will she backstab him? Does she think that she's the one wearing the pants in the family? Um, the idea that the gentleman delivers the cash and he says, I'm not here from the Kingpin, I'm here from the man, clearly referring to Vanessa, if you will. Like she's the one kind of calling the shots here. And the fact that her and Kingpin are not on the same page does make me wonder if this is going to be sort of like a power grab for Vanessa here. And will Kingpin have to make like a really crazy decision? Because look, I love the way Vincent D'Onofrio was handling Kingpin. I know the first two episodes, people are like, oh, he's changed. Yeah, he's changed. The man's gone through a lot. Not only has he been blipped, but he's also been shot in the freaking head, right? Like that's going to change your persona and how you view and handle things, sort of thing. But make no mistake, this man is still as dangerous as it certainly comes. He may not be necessarily showing you his hand and as emotionally unstable about certain things that he might have been in the first couple of seasons of this show. But make no mistake, the man is working. All right. He's always one step ahead. He's always got a plan. And I am interested to kind of see what that's going to be for him and Vanessa. I still don't know who Adam is. Is this sort of like a child that she had? Is this somebody that she's having an affair with, sort of thing? Hopefully we get a little bit more explanation as to who Adam certainly might be in the bigger scheme of things. Yeah, I'm really fascinated to see what Kingpin is going to do when it comes to his relationship, along with the clearly he's focused on being a mayor and continuing to acquire power, but with his other organization that Vanessa is now kind of running, how does he blend those two together and at what particular point in time? So we'll see what happens. I don't know when Frank Castle comes into play here, but if anything, I would assume a Daredevil will come to find out that people are rocking sort of this Punisher logo, and maybe go to Frank and try and figure out, did you kill White Tiger? Did Kingpin hire you to do it? Are you not involved at all, sort of thing? Can you help me understand why the police officers have sort of, celebrated your symbol as sort of like one of their own kind of mentality? So hopefully Frank comes in the next few episodes here. But yeah, man, I think this season is going to continue to get better and better. And I thought it was a fascinating choice for this to be sort of like a court drama, all episode long, that I was a really big fan of. So, look, I don't know if this is going to be like this every episode. If Matt is going to have sort of like another case that he has to pick up, I would be okay with maybe like one more. How many episodes do we have this year, though? Maybe like 9 or something like that. So I don't know. This might be the only court sort of like procedural, being in the courtroom sort of thing that we get. But we'll see how the rest of the season turns out. But overall, first 3 episodes in, I'm loving what I'm seeing, guys. But look, at the end of the day, these are my A+ opinions. I want to know yours. What did you guys think about episode number 3 of Daredevil? What certainly stuck out to you? Is there anything that I missed that you guys want to further go ahead and talk about? Please go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below. But until next time, do me a big favor. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll talk to you later. Bye.